Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. How are you all?
Fine.
Good. Thank you very much for coming. You know what? I'm really excited about this afternoon. I've only got 5 minutes with you, and I do hope you stay engaged throughout this 5 minutes. What I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to give you a proposition. Okay? What we will be doing in the next 3 days will be for me to convince you that, being leaders in the educational sector, or should I say the public sector, okay, we can actually learn from the best practices of leadership in the corporate sector. What do you think of that? Possible, not possible, impossible? Possible. Okay. But anyway, before we go on to that, what I'd like to do is to perhaps set up some ground rules so that you know what's expected out of you, and I know what's expected out of myself as well. And I'm going to introduce to you a simple tool, a tool that we would call grippy. Okay, and I'll talk to you a bit more about this. Okay, the first thing is I'm going to talk to you about the main aim for this next 3 days. Okay, I'm proposing that we're going to use corporate leadership in the public sector leadership, and that's my goal. Okay, my goal is to introduce that to you, and for you to understand and to believe at the end of the 3 days that we can actually do this. And in fact, you will be transformational leaders when you get back to your own individual organizations. The process or the skills that I would like to impart to you basically states that good leadership is all about making consistently good judgment in 3 main domains. Firstly, in the area of strategy. Secondly, in the area of people. And thirdly, in times of crisis. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is that you can forget about anything else about leadership. Just remember that you have the ability to make consistently good judgment in those 3 areas. Okay? We'll go into details in those areas in the next day or 2. But that's the aim for the time being. Okay? So my goal or my proposition to you is that I will be convincing you that leadership will equal good judgment. Now, anyone here who are teachers? Very good. Then that's easy. Because to be a leader, what one really needs to be is also a good teacher or a good coach. Okay? That's half the battle, actually. And what we're going to do in the next 3 days is not so much me doing what I'm doing now, i.e. giving you a lecture, but it will be very much active process. Okay? It does mean that each and every one of you will be coaching or mentoring or teaching your colleagues. I truly believe that each and every one of you have a wealth of experience as far as leadership is concerned. Okay? Has anyone held any leadership position? In fact, yes, you all are. You all are leaders, I think. Okay, but saying that, say Sam, you tell me that you've never had any leadership position. Let me take you back home. Are you a mother? Are you a wife? You're a wife. Okay. Who'd you look after at home?
My husband. My cats.
And your cats. Good, excellent. Okay. Now tell me about your cats.
We've got 2 cats.
Yeah, go on.
But I don't feed them.
Oh, who feeds them?
My husband does.
Your husband feeds them. Okay. What did you have to do to make sure that your husband feed your cat?
I have to remind him.
Okay.
If the cats are making noises next door.
What if he forgets?
I forget.
No, what if your husband forgets about feeding the cat?
If he forgets, I will tell him.
Feedback. Yeah? Feedback, okay? So you're very good at giving instruction so that he doesn't forget. But
yes,
if he does
I'm very
forget,
good at that.
yeah, you'll give him feedback as well. Okay. Now these are some of the attributes of leadership. Okay. So often, unbeknown to you, you're actually exercising leadership even when you're at home. Okay, for those who have kids, I'm pretty sure that you do that all the time. Okay, you got to make sure that the dinner's set at the right time, that the kids are gathered around the table, and so on and so forth. And then you can make sure that some of your kids will do their kitchen duties and so on. Okay, so what we're trying to do here, with whatever experience that you have in the past, okay, we're going to make use of that in terms of helping each other coach each other. Okay, it is very important that the learning actually comes from all of you rather than just from me. Okay, so your role will be to be a coach or a mentor or a leader. My role will be to have a guess.
Preach, to train.
To preach?
No.
No? What do you think I should be doing?
Facilitate. Facilitate.
To facilitate. What do you mean by that?
Help us develop our inner leader.
Okay, there you
To
go.
be in charge.
Yeah, okay, just to make sure that everyone is in focus, everyone participates, no one falls asleep, okay? And to make sure that we get through all these programs on time, okay? And I'm running out of time at the moment. The third thing, okay, the process, how are we going to do it now? This is what we're going to do in the next 3 days. We're going to have plenaries, short plenaries, okay? I'm going to be talking about certain concepts or certain skills or tools that good leaders would use in terms of running their organization. And then we will have some sort of interaction. I would normally like to use benchmarking. Does anyone know about benchmarking? What would you understand? Doctor, tell me what you know about benchmarking. Is it a bench?
No, not quite. It's looking around to see what other practices are being adopted elsewhere.
Good.
And making sure that you adopt the benchmark, at least the lowest level of performance. Is different from best practices
Okay.
benchmarking.
Any other?
It's a standard.
It's a standard. Okay, yeah. Essentially, that's what it is. For us to be able to improve from where we are, we need to know where the next level is, so that we can go beyond that level. Okay. If we are actually way below that level, then there's some work to be done. If we're at that level, then we know that we can go higher, and we look for better benchmarks. Okay. So I'll be introducing benchmarks, and usually in the form of videos. Okay. Of good practices. Elsewhere. It could be on the education side, it could be on the business side, okay? So that you can have some idea where you should be heading towards. And after that, we will then reconvene and we'll do some exercise, how best you can actually improve on your practices as far as being a good leader is concerned. And this is where there's going to be a lot of peer coaching, okay? Now, the last one, interpersonal, this is the most critical part, and this is something where we're going to be setting ground rules so that the whole roles and process work efficiently. Okay, things like your mobile phone. Dr. Mona, I see your mobile phone is there. A little bit switched off.
Yes.
Okay.
Checking it.
And there must be a lot of respect between all of us, okay? So meaning that, when someone's talking, giving opinion, only one person will speak, okay? And others will listen. When that person finishes, then yes, you may have your turn. We are all professional, I would rather we don't use terms like, oh, that's rubbish, or whatever else, okay? Not very nice term. I think the most important thing when you're giving feedback is actually to be as positive as possible. Okay, feedback is actually about helping your colleagues. So feedback will equate to something constructive. Even the most negative observation can be turned around into something very positive. Now, you may wonder how that's going to be done, but this is something that we'll work on in the course of the next 3 days. The other thing is there must be a lot of trust as well amongst each other. Okay. You'll discover that in the next few days, there will be times when, you will be put in a situation where you're going to be making yourself really, really vulnerable. And honestly speaking, having been a leader or in a leadership position for, well, the best part of maybe 10 years, I do find that a lot of the times, if you try to get into not just the head but the heart of the people in your organization, is to actually come down to their level, actually to be as honest, as candid as possible, so that people understand where you're coming from. Okay. Any questions?
Not at this moment.
Panjang, eh?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I'm covering it, you know. I'm just making it up.
Are you wrapping?
You want me to stop?
Yeah, stop that, please.
Berapa minit?